What's up, guys? This is your official welcome to our New Year, New You program. If you haven't put your stats on the spreadsheet, do so right now while you're watching this video so we can get your macros calculated for you. And can you jump on the nutrition plan immediately? The earlier you start on it, the more results you're going to get by the time we do our end measurements. But regardless, the whole point of this is giving us some momentum to focus on nutrition, and that's going to be the theme for all of 2018. We're going to really focus on eating right. During the New Year, New You program, all the way to the end of February, I'm going to do a lot of videos almost daily on educational for nutrition and exercise and things that are going to help you stick to what you need to stick to get to whatever your individual goals are. We've got a number of meal plans. I'm going to go over one a day so that you understand what they are, so that you can start making the changes. And then on Monday, I'm going to do a live Q&A so you can ask questions about each nutrition plan in general and specific to you and any different ways that you want to adjust it. But today, I'm going to take the time to explain a little bit of my history so you guys understand what I'm bringing to the table, my perspective on all of these things, and hopefully we can relate a little bit more. This is my weight loss journey. This is the timeline, not the scale. Graduated high school, 165 pounds. I was very active. I was 18 years old. I didn't think at all about what I ate. Went to college, put on freshman 15. I exercised a ton. I lifted a lot of weights. I was trying to be a meathead. I was pretty successful with it. Wasn't very clean 180, but I got up there. Then while I was at school, I got sick with mono. It was so bad I had to withdraw from school, come home. I spent the night in the hospital. Spent like 20 hours in bed during the entire time that I was sick. Dropped all the way down to 140 pounds because I wasn't eating. I was super unhealthy at that point. Once I finally recovered, I wanted to be a meathead again because I was 180 and I thought I was awesome. So slowly from the summer of 2006 to about the summer of 2007, I had put on 40 pounds, a ton of muscle mass. I was big and bulky again. I was a meathead and I loved it. But it wasn't clean. It wasn't healthy. I didn't know it at the time. I kept that pattern going for about 2 years while I was still in school, working some jobs on the side, lifting a ton of weights and not thinking at all about what I was eating, and I built all the way up to 220. And it was at 220 that I noticed how unhealthy I was. Yeah, I was really muscular, big chest, big arms, but I also had a big gut, and I could feel that my health was slipping away. And at that point, I was like, 21 years old? Still too young to be feeling that way. So I got really into learning about nutrition, and I started keeping track of my calories and keep track of my macros. And from the spring of 2009 till about the end of 2010, I was able to go from 220 to 160. And that 160 was super healthy, super lean. I was probably 10% body fat, and I was in great shape. I was able to run. I was able to lift. I was doing CrossFit really before I knew what CrossFit was. From there, started eating more because I wanted to get bigger and stronger because strength was what was fun for me. And over the course of about a year, I went up to about 175. From there, I wanted to get really lean and do competitive powerlifting, so I had to drop down a weight class. In order to go from 175 to 163, I followed the slow carb diet. The 163 pounds, the leanest I've ever been in my life. I was about 8% body fat. You could see my abs. I felt great. I was able to run. I was able to do all the body weight movements, and I was the strongest pound for pound that I've ever been in my life. Shortly after that, I decided to I decided to open up my own gym, my own location, so my priorities started to shift. I wasn't so focused on what I looked like and how much I could lift. I was more focused on growing that business. And I slowly built up in weight to about 180 pounds. Once I had a lot of the things in the business established with the way that I wanted, I decided I wanted to be competitive in CrossFit. So I started eating on the Zone diet. And over the course of about 1 or 2 years, I really focused a lot. It was really like 18 months. I really focused a lot on CrossFit performance and eating in the zone. And I went from a relatively sloppy 180 to a very lean, very strong 173 pounds. I was super fit. I was like 300 something in the region in the open, I was probably 2,400 the year before. My performance was at an all-time high. I was learning new things. This was the most fit that I had ever been. Then I bought that second location, moved the gym, and my priorities completely shifted. It was a lot more work than I was prepared to handle. It was a lot more stressful. I slowly went from, over the course of another 18 months, 173 to 195. And that 195 was one of the most unhealthy that I've ever been. Yeah, I was 220 in the past, but this one was different because my exercise level in general was so low. Body fat percentage was getting high, but I had a wedding coming up. So I went on the paleo diet for about 3 months, went from 195 to about 185. So I reeled it in a little bit and I felt good. We had a nice wedding, a nice summer. I maintained that for about 5 or 6 months. Found out that we were pregnant. I put on a lot of baby weight. I used to laugh at the husbands who did so when I had met them in the past, that they put on baby weight with their wife. Well, it got me good. It got me hard. Way worse than I was expecting. When we had William, I was 202 pounds, by far the most unhealthy that I have been in a very, very long time, maybe ever. So I decided I wanted to put things back together. I went back on tracking my macros. Exercise was little to no exercise at all. Started tracking what I was doing, and from the end of September till the middle of December, I got down to 183 pounds, leaning out a lot and keeping that momentum going. The reason I tell you this is so that you guys understand I have been through it all. I have done all the different diets, and I have done them from a place that wasn't simple, wasn't easy. I've had clients in the past, and I would talk to them about nutrition, and they said things like, I just don't understand what it's like. I don't understand what it's like for them because they're a woman or because they're older, because I've never been overweight. I've never had a lot of weight to lose. That's an argument that people throw at me a lot. But I wanted them to know I have had a lot of weight to lose, and I have done so, and I've done it the right way, slow and steady. I've done crash diets, I've done experimental diets, and I've done it the right way, and I've learned a lot throughout. I've also had people tell me, while on my weight loss journey, when I try to coach them, is that I can't coach them on nutrition because it was one of my unhealthy points. They're like, what do you know about nutrition? You're not ripped and shredded right now, so how can you help me do that? And at first I thought, that's a fair argument. Who am I to tell somebody how to eat if I'm not eating perfectly myself in that moment? Who am I to tell somebody how to get shredded, get lean, and have high performance if I'm not performing well right now and I'm not lean? And it hurt. Who am I as the authority? How am I going to coach people if I'm not doing a good job myself? But then I put a lot of thought into it and a lot of reflection, and I realized this gives me an advantage, not a disadvantage. If I were just naturally ripped and shredded and I learned about nutrition and I adjusted my eating habits, but I had always had it easy, I wouldn't have the understanding, the knowledge base, the empathy, and the perspective that I do have now because of those struggles. I'm not perfect. Those imperfections give me an advantage. I know how to do things in a lot of different ways because of all the times that I've struggled, because of the experiences that I've been through, because of the relapses that I've had. I've done it the right way and I've maintained it. I've fallen off because life has hit me, and I understand how to relate to a lot of people who are not perfect either. I'm not perfect. And right now, this 183, I actually spent the last 2 weeks of the year eating terrible on purpose and not on purpose. On purpose because I knew we were going to do this the right way and I wanted to celebrate, but that 183 inflated to a lot. I am taking this journey with you. I'm going to go through all the steps, and I'm going to document my journey as you guys are doing it so you can see what I'm doing, how it's affecting me, and what adjustments I make. And I'm going to share all the struggles that I go into, all the things that stress me out, all the things that I like, all the things that I don't like, how I'm going to modify it so that I can continue to make progress side by side with you guys. I'm not going to be the person that's going to tell you what to do, issue commands, and expect you to follow it. I'm going to be in the trenches living it with you. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to just show you all my progress, all my numbers, all my weigh-ins, all my food, everything. So you guys are going through this journey with me, and I'm going through it with you. I'm not going to issue a meal plan and expect you to follow it unless I'm doing it myself. So it's going to be a really fun journey. You guys are going to see all the things that I do that are not ideal but work for me. You're going to see things that I do that simplify it and make it easy to follow. You're going to see the things that make me successful. You're going to see the things that make me struggle. You're going to probably see embarrassing videos and pictures of me, and you don't have to share any of that stuff yourself. You just get to be a viewer and laugh and learn, and you don't have to share anything that you're doing. Make sure you add your numbers to that spreadsheet so Kyle and I can get you your nutrition immediately. Tune in tomorrow. I'm going to go over one of those meal plans. We're going to do one a day. If you have questions, write them down. We're going to do a live Q&A on Monday so you can get all of your questions answered. Do the work.